Good evening, Mallory.
Good morning, Sam.
Welcome back to Nobody Leaves, the podcast where we make each other watch excellent pieces of media. Today we're going to be talking about Moneyball, the 2011 baseball movie. Mallory and I, big fans of baseball. But before that, we're going to talk about, random crap, or how our weeks have been. Mallory, you look like you want to say something. Are you like ready to talk about baseball? You just can't hold it in anymore?
Sam, I'm going to do everything we can in this podcast. So, hey, if you guys like the intro, it's about to go long, baby.
Hour and a half intro, 20-minute Moneyball conversation. Here we go. I'm ready.
If you're a fan of, just people who don't like baseball, you're going to like me. If you're a fan of baseball, you're not going to like me. Let's talk about, Sam, to no one's surprise this week, to absolutely shocking zero people at all, I've been listening to Mannequin Pussy, to shattering zero expectations, completely fulfilling my role within society, doing exactly what's expected of me. Mannequin Pussy has been on the loop. It is a good band.
Audience, if you want to skip to the Moneyball conversation and just avoid the Mannequin Pussy conversation, I understand.
Why would if you're
there
afraid?
Are time codes in the thing. You can just jump ahead. I promise we'll talk about the Brad Pitt classic, the Brad Pitt Jonah Hill, incredible movie. Anyway, Mannequin Pussy. Wait, what genre is Mannequin
punk.
Pussy?
Like punk.
Okay,
punk.
makes sense.
Real
Punk,
good.
punk.
It was if you don't remember, eagle-eyed viewers of the Nobody Leaves podcast will recall, in the John Mulaney Everybody's Live, they were one of the acts, and we mentioned them when we were talking, just because their name was such a standout,
Some would say that I led you directly to Mannequin Pussy. You're saying this is all my fault.
I don't know if I would have picked it up if it weren't for you leading me to John Mulaney. So this is a moment of gratitude, me finally being like, I need to follow up on that. I need to see what's going on with Mannequin Pussy. I mean, they've been around for a while. I just downloaded an album that they released in 2016, and it's 10 tracks and amazing. And I'm like, oh, I got 4 more albums to get through. So yeah, you're listening to Mannequin
Pussy. I'm listening to Riley Kilo, which is a band that sounds like 500 Days of Summer. I don't know how else to put it. It's twee pop from the mid 2000s. That's been my music journey lately. So I feel we're on different wavelengths, which may be a theme throughout the rest of the episode.
It very well may be. That was just my intro teaser. The real thing that I got to talk about, that we talked about a little bit last week, Legenza.
Pokemon lasagna? Hell yeah.
Pokemon lasagna. Oh, is it Monday again, Sam? It's just...
Lasagna watch.
Lasagna watch. I've gotten deeper into the game. Last time we talked about the kind of Yakuza-looking guy, Corbeau.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got to him. I got to his boss fight.
Is he on the team now? Is he invited to the cookout?
He flattened me like a pancake. He did. I got destroyed so badly, and I'd been doing good. I thought I was over leveled because I didn't
know it was possible to get flattened in this game. Are you serious?
It was crazy. I think part of it, is just type. I have a lot of poison types, but I didn't prepare to counter poison types necessarily. And he's a poison type guy.
I see.
But
What's
it was
his main
actually
dude?
So they made, you don't care about spoilers for this.
Not at all.
I don't think you're good. So they made Mega Scolipede is one of the new megas.
Okay.
Scolipede is from Gen 5, the
big purple centipede guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made a mega for him, and then that basically we were doing pretty tit for tat. I think I'd lost maybe 2 or 3 Pokemon and gotten rid of 4 of his. And then he sent out Mega Scolipede, and it comedically one-shot every single one of my guys. I have Meganium is Grass type, if you Mega Evolve it, it becomes Grass Fairy now, so it's like double weak to poison. It's
see.
just like absolutely destroyed me.
Is that the Mega you're running? Is Meganium?
It's actually so there. You have like a little Mega meter that you can like charge up throughout battles.
So you can use
like,
multiple.
Release. Yeah. So I have Meganium. I have Mawile. Mawile's kind of like touch and go on my team because I really like Mawile. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, but I also like I've used it a lot in a lot of different games, and I always try to like mix up my teams, you know. And I have also Spritzy, which I really like, which is another fairy type. So I'm like, maybe, but
so poison, just
then,
not it. Yeah, not your jam.
Also not good against poison. I have Chandelure. Which I just evolved, which they have like a Mega for Chandelure now.
I've seen it. They actually finally become the full light fixture.
Yeah, they can actually finally be hung in like Versailles.
They're like the Beauty and the Beast like centerpiece, like light fixture. Like they're massive.
Yeah, no, really, it was a really, really cool Mega design. So I got that one. That's my only saving grace because it's like fire type and Scalapete's like bug type. But even that was not enough. Like it was still getting destroyed. And then there's one more. I'm training. I kind of want because they have Dragalge, but I don't think I'm going to use Dragalge. There was one more. I'm trying to remember. Oh no, it was Malamar.
Her own team. Oh, okay.
Malamar, yeah, but I don't have the Mega Stone for Malamar yet. But Malamar was one of the ones that was teased pre-release, like hypnotizing and creating a cult around itself. So cool Megas, cool trainers,
cool Megas.
Hard game.
I like Megas. I like that it takes Pokemon like Mawile that like don't have much going on and is like, what if they did? One day they'll make a Torkoal Mega and I'll be happy.
Oh my god, yeah, no, it's very
Torkoal.
tragic. Yeah, I'm still sad about that it got crossed over for Megas in favor of like I get why they did Camerupt because then it's like the boss of like Team Magma or whatever, but Torkoal to me was the one that was more in dire need of like just, you know,
well, like
something
they've done it
cool
for
and
others,
extreme.
right? Like isn't there a Mega Skarmory now?
Yeah. Mega Skarmory
That's a Pokemon
really
that needed a
cool.
Mega or an evolution.
Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, it's a good game. I've really like the characters have really, really grown on me. I really like the characters. They're just like fun little emo teens, and I like them a lot. And they're good, and they're very good.
I'm like fighting the urge to buy it, like as I do every year, basically. It's like, you know, maybe I can open my heart back up to Pokemon. And I was like, no, you're not doing it this time. You did not like Scarlet and Violet. Don't do it. It costs $70. You're not doing it. And I might break on that, but we'll see. This might be a Christmas game for me.
I mean, I will say, like, you will get so mad at the tutorials, but
I will.
Like, once you get past them, like, it's a lot more game than I was expecting. It's a lot meatier than I was expecting. Like, I feel like I kind of sat down today thinking like, okay, I'm probably around like the last legs of this game. Like I can probably like get at least like to the final boss like this morning. And I sat down for way, way longer than I intended just trying to get to the fight with Corbo, who was like the current boss that I'm fighting, and I couldn't even beat him. And I was like, I'm already have been playing this game for way too long. But the thing is like I was having fun the whole time. Like I really think the like cycle, the battle loop, is like really, really fun. Like the gameplay loop. I'll have to see if it continues to be fun after I beat the thing, because I feel like a lot of it is based on like climbing the ranks and stuff. So like I'm not sure like how the gameplay loop is going to work like once you clear the final boss, but at least
I'm
right now
assuming that it's like, oh, go complete the Pokedex, go shiny hunt, what have you, and that's like the part that I enjoy. So not so much shiny hunting, but the like go find the like go collect everybody. It's fun.
Yeah,
I like it. I could see it being a good post game, but if I'm not allowed to do it for too long, I'll get angry. And you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You know what I'm like when I'm angry. I bitch about a game made for 10-year-olds.
I'm taking away your toys, 10-year-olds. Yeah.
Every
it's
Pokemon
good.
trainer costume I saw during Halloween, I just ran up and like stole the kids' candy. I'm like, you should play Digimon instead. Rah.
You have no respect for the art of graphics. The truth, you're the.
I don't
think
care
of the
about
budget
the
that
graphics.
was.
The windows
Think of the
could
budget
look like
that was
shit.
spent on this game.
I care about the pacing and it being a fun game to play.
Yeah,
I'm tired of eating my vegetables to enjoy my Pokemon dessert, all right? Is that too much to ask?
That's fair.
I don't need to learn how a Pokeball works. I know. I've known for 20 years. I've known
built
for
the
25
Pokeball.
years.
I watched the movie where Professor Samuel Oak created the first Pokeball when Celebi traveled back in time. I know, I was there. Yeah, no, it's good. I like it. Have you heard the song for this? Oh my god, I'm gonna mess up how you. It's like Lyanth or Gianth. There's like a really good like electro swingy kind of song that has been going around.
I've heard mention of it.
Yeah,
but I've not heard the song itself.
Jacinth.
If that makes sense. Jacinth.
Okay.
Is that like the VTuber of this generation? Because now we're doing that.
No, I already beat the VTuber of this generation, who is a really good character. Because she's like a raging gamer type, which is like
I like that they're leaning into that. I think it's I thought it was fun in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, no, it's a really good character, and it's like I was a little worried because it's the second electric VTuber we've had. But I mean, it kind of makes sense with the electric type of like being online, internet, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like I liked that rather than being just like really bubbly and fun, she was just like angry, like like shut-in kind of gamer, which feels like it also reflects a type of streamer. So
I saw some streamers like feeling called out playing, and I thought that was funny. It's like one of the only things I've seen about the game.
Yeah, because she's I kind of like the first main boss. There's like a few like you start like rank Z, Y, X, and like you're going up the alphabet, and then at a certain point you just like jump to like F, and then you're doing like FE. So like rank F up is like the like real main bosses,
and they're all like like a quest and a boss to like rank and move up one. I gotcha.
Right, versus like the lower ones like feel more like NPCs or whatever, and they have the best character ever, which is the rank Z trainer is called Zach, and he's a taxi driver. And there's this thing where like the ranking system is like if you climb to the top of the ranking system, you get to like have a single wish granted. It's like kind of like this weird like plot device.
Sure.
And you're fighting the first ever guy, and this is like you're being introduced to the concept of this whole system that you get a wish granted. He's a taxi driver, and he's like, when I reach the top of the ranks, I'm going to eliminate all forms of transport other than taxis. I'm like, this is a good game. Like I can
sold appreciate
me.
That.
Yeah, there's other times where the dialogue is really bad, where it's just like. It's just wasted because it's just like people asking the questions that they want you to ask rather than like speaking like a competent member of the world, which like the second is going to make you a lot more intrigued. The first is kind of like being like, you should be intrigued about this. And there's some of that, but then there's some really good, like just.
There's a lot of talking at you in Pokemon that like kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Definitely.
But it like when it's in like a cute, like pixel art style, you're like, oh, whatever, this is not even like a person. But now that it's like a 3D model, you're like, can you be a little bit more lifelike or whatever? There's something just it's something different about it. I don't know how to put it.
Definitely. But yeah, I really wanted to get to her boss fight. Haven't gotten to it yet. The oh my god, I keep forgetting her name, Jacinth. Just to hear the theme music, but I haven't got to that yet. So that's my Legenza update, my lasagna update.
Well, Mallory, two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and we cannot travel both. I have two pieces of media to bring to the table this week. I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, and I read a manga about a cute dragon girl named Ruby Dragon. Which would you like to talk about?
I mean, definitely Ruby Dragon. Are you kidding me? That sounds amazing.
Ruri Dragon, Ruri.
Oh, Ruri.
Yeah. This is a Shonen Jump Plus manga series that feels like it's been around for forever because the author made like 4 chapters and then got sick for like a year and a half. So I read it when it debuted in Shonen Jump and then quickly became very popular because the character is very cute and the manga is very wholesome. But then the author was gone for like ever, and it's like, well, I guess that series is dead forever, and hopefully the author isn't. But then it came back like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and I just let it build up for a long time. I was lying in bed, very tired, ran a half marathon this weekend, and I was just sitting there like, I want to read something. I've also recently deleted Reddit and Blue Sky off my phone because I was spending too much time on that. So now I've just replaced it with reading manga, which is not better, but still not ideal. I'm supposed to be like picking up a book, working on my Silk Song video, not doing too much of either.
Inventing the new Pythagorean theorem.
New Pythagorean theorem. Learning sabermetrics. We're talking about baseball again. Anyway, no.
Healing family trauma.
Yeah, sure. Going
That's
to
what
therapy,
I thought I would do.
Eating healthy.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm reading a manga about a dragon girl who has trouble relating to her classmates because she is half dragon.
Oh, man.
And it's very cute. It's basically like a big puberty metaphor. Like, she starts out as a regular human and then learns that she is half dragon. Like, her horns come in. And then basically, like, there's like 12 chapters of shenanigans of being like, you have horns. What's that about? As it's gone on, it's actually developed a little bit of a story. And it's, like, interesting to see this character navigate normal high school anxieties. You're skipping loafer situations of did I like microaggression my way into like a rival or ruined friendship or what have you.
Yeah.
But she's half dragon and occasionally the art looks really cool. And she has like dragon powers, like she can breathe fire and ice and lightning and can't control any of them. And it's got some good comedic gags and it's fun.
It's giving Turning Red. It's reminding me of that.
Yes.
Which is my favorite movie ever. So.
The thing I like about it is that there's like no secret. Like everyone knows she's half dragon and everyone just sits there and goes, half dragon, what's that about? And like they have that conversation like rinse and repeat for 30 chapters straight, but it's always like a new angle on it. And there's like, she's slowly winning over people that she had troubles with and like deepening the friendships she has. Good stuff, good slice of life stuff. I'm trying to be more well-rounded and not just read like your generic action, like this is a stand battle but we don't call it stands kind of manga.
Yeah. No, it sounds really cute. I like the idea of you just can't get enough of coming of age stories where someone's a little different and a little
different. Well, the art will like there's not really action in this series per se, but the art will occasionally like go into that like this character looks like a Dragon Ball character for a second, like really hyper detailed and like very creative ways to like her eyes look kind of like dragon-like, and that's very like satisfying. And her fire powers are really cool in the art style. Like it's just cool. It has that like rule of cool, but there's nothing to fight and there's nothing to like. There's no world to save or anything like that. It's just I hope this girl likes me in class who doesn't like me currently, and I want to know why. and those parts are pretty well written, and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
All I'll say is I've never seen it, and I'm sure it was terrifying 50 years ago. I think literally 50 years ago. Not very scary, very slow. I think you could watch this movie and be completely fine. Like, my friends and I went and saw it like on like the 30th of October, so like right before Halloween. And we were trying not to ruin the rest of the theater's good time by laughing. But I mean, there's a lot of like running through the woods with a chainsaw kind of slowly. And it's it's definitely of the time, but I could see how back in the day this was like hugely influential and this and that,
It's
and
like
it's got some good
train.
camera work, and it's neat, but it's also like if you've seen any horror movie in the 50 years since, you know what's happening. You kind of get the idea. Like, this movie invented, like, the sole survivor of, like, a massacre. Like, this is the movie that did that. Like, the idea of, like, the final girl or whatever. This comes from this. And as such, you've seen a lot of iterations on it at this point, and so a guy, like, swinging a chainsaw around, not that scary anymore.
I see.
But it was fun.
Do you think
It was a good time at the movies.
you've like watched like Apollo 13 with me? I think is that the horror one? Or no, were you not there?
Apollo 13.
But you've watched like horror movies with me before, and
I have.
you know that I have a penchant to do this and cover my eyes. How like what percent do you think my eyes would be covered of this movie? Like,
So for a movie called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's very little blood. Like, it's not...
there's very little chainsaw massacring.
There's like 2 characters that get killed by a chainsaw, maybe, and it's a lot of like implied violence and like cutting away.
Yeah.
I will say the lead actress, who I don't think did anything else beyond this, like, it's all like student actors in Texas in the 70s, and so it has like a really interesting vibe to it of like a student film, but like she's giving a really good performance where like she's screaming for like an hour of it, but in a very believable, like, this person's about to be murdered kind of way.
Yeah.
And that kind of heightens it somewhat, but it's still pretty silly. And it's still like spooky. There's animal carcasses around, and there's a human skull on the table. Whoa. And so that kind of thing I don't think really works on modern audiences that much, but it is cute and fun in its own way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have to cover your eyes, like, not at all. The scariest thing that happens in the movie is like in the first 10 minutes where they pick up a hitchhiker who's just like disturbing. And he cuts his palm with a knife, and that's about as gruesome as it gets. Like, from that point on, it's just a lot of implied mutilation and cannibalism and whatnot, but it's not actually it's not that scary, I would say.
Gotcha. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Texas Chainsaw Massacre gets massacred on the Nobody Leaves podcast.
It's true. I'm tearing down a beloved classic. You know what the most scary thing about the movie was
What?
when I went to see it in this old theater in my town that does a lot of like specialty screenings. Like, they were gearing up to do Rocky Horror the next day. And the guy who introduced the movie, who's like the main theater guy, was fully dressed as like Leatherface with like the chainsaw and the sack mask and everything else. And at some point in this dark theater that's like very like tight enclosed, so someone from the audience like had gotten up to use the restroom and came back and was just standing in the aisle, and it was like a bigger guy. And I thought for a while, because it was right as the movie was really gearing up, I thought it was the guy who had hosted the movie, and he was like entering the audience with like the chainsaw to scare people, because it's the kind of thing this theater would do. And so I was more nervous watching this real guy, who in reality is just like waiting to get back into his row after using the restroom or something. But it was off-putting because I just see like this silhouette of this like big guy as Texas Chainsaw Massacring is happening on this screen. Over here in reality, there's just like a kind of menacing figure who's just standing still. That was creepier than the actual movie.
That's really funny.
It was not bad.
That's so real, though. Man. Well, Sam, you know, you could not pay me to to do this transition.
Well, Mallory, I think it's a problem that you think we need to explain ourselves. We don't. To anybody. Shark Boy and Lava Girl, followed by Moneyball. It just makes sense. It's a process. It's a process.
That does make sense.
It's a
that
process.
is a process. That is a process.
Mallory, we are card counters at the blackjack table. Every new at-bat is like a hand of blackjack. your odds completely change. Do you want us to walk more? Good question. Yes. We're here to talk about Moneyball, the story of the Oakland A's and their historic 20-game streak, using math and logic and cutting out all that hammy-pammy, oh, he's got a good arm, and I think I'm a scout, and I think that he looks like a baseball player, so he should be a baseball player. We're getting rid of all that. We're here to talk about Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt and Aaron Sorkin and baseball and good soundtracks. Anyway, I love Moneyball. I've seen this movie like 15 times. You do not know what you're walking into here. This has become a internet like copy pasta. The you can get on base scene. I can quote it from memory, as can a bunch of other losers. So, yeah, what'd you think? Your first time on the pitch?
Okay, this is my review of Moneyball. These are okay. So there was a scene pretty early in the movie. It was about 16 minutes into the recording, as I was watching it, and this just boring looking guy in a polo is talking to Brad Pitt, who's trying his best to also look boring in a polo, but is Brad Pitt and still has his hair and head in every scene, and it's really just jarring. But he's talking to the guy, and the guy says, "This is the way we do business in Cleveland." And I said, "Fuck me, man! God, I hate this." That's my quote.
Mike, what are we doing here? I'm here to let's talk about some outfielders,
So bad. There's another part where
you have no criticism whatsoever. You're just sitting here going, so bad.
There's a part where they're playing a bunch of clips of the radio of them being like, "Billy Beane doesn't know what he's doing. He's the worst guy ever. He's ruining the whole game. He just doesn't understand baseball." And it shows him looking really sad. And I said out loud, "They doubted him." And then I said,
"Oh, Mallory, this is baseball Jesus. Billy Beane. He died for our sins, for the sins of valuing players for abstract and unscientific reasons. They're trying to make a team of misfit toys, Mallory. It's the ultimate underdog story. The Yankees spent $1.3 million per win. The Oakland A's spent $257,000. Are you kidding me?"
I feel nauseous. Okay, I feel like, here's the thing, is it's basically, okay, let me explain. Okay, no, Is this
whole thing going to be Mallory didn't like the movie because it's about baseball? Because if so, Mallory is shallow and sucks.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna help bridge the gap because our regular viewing audience, the people who watch it for me, my side at least, are all gay. Everyone who likes my recommendations is gay, and they're the girls and gays and theys, and they need a bridge to understand Moneyball. So this week I was there's a horrible tragedy in the U.S. with SNAP running out and the program, and they're not able to get food. So then I was watching this interview with a woman who runs one of those organizations that they get produce that's damaged looking or discolored or something, but it's still completely fine and edible food, but it just won't be put on a shelf, and they're giving that out. So it's basically their theory is let's get the misshapen bananas of
let's get the weird beings. Pepper that looks not like a pepper, let's get the banana that's a little it's a little too curved.
Yeah. Or it's a straight banana. Someone was saying it's not curved enough for what we think a banana should look like. And let's put them on a baseball team, and then basically we're getting so much bang for our buck. We're getting it cheaper, and we're getting a more efficient, nutritious, healthy baseball team. And it just feels weird to talk about people like that. Something just rubs me so wrong. And this is not even. I'm not trying to be woke. I don't have
Mallory,
like an official woke take. It's just so weird. I'm just like, what
First
is
of all,
this shit, man?
what the hell
What am I
did
watching?
What the hell did the like appeal to the gays have to do with any of that? You start talking about produce and then back to Moneyball. You can't just
because
go.
gays are woke.
I speak for the gays. There's more to being woke than just being gay, okay? You can't hide behind your wokeness.
No conservative gays will be listening to this podcast.
That's fair. There's no like secret Grindr accounts listening. Anyway, I don't. First of all, I think you and the movie are aligned because the characters that we're following are saying that's stupid. You shouldn't undervalue these players because they throw funny, or they're older, or they have unrepairable nerve damage, or they smoke weed. Like, this movie is saying we should, like, value these players appropriately, and we can win. We can prove and break the system of baseball that basically goes, you have to be, like, a good-looking, probably white guy. You have to be, like, a charismatic player, and that's what scouts are valuing over people who, like, statistically are good at the game but are undervalued because they're fat or they're slow or they're they have, like, problems off the field or whatever. Like, this movie agrees with you and is saying
no, totally.
No.
Like, those guys, okay, those are the worst guys. Like, in that early scene where they're all sitting around a table and they're going, like, he's got a movie face, and he's like, he's got an ugly girlfriend. And I'm like, wow, I wish I could Texas Chainsaw... Yeah, no, I'm like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Give me Chainsaw, put me in there. I'll make a scarier movie than that.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the second best chainsaw-themed movie I've seen this last couple weeks.
But then it's also, like, at the end of the day, there's, like, this trading card. There's, like, sorry, bud, we have to let you go. Can't have 25 kids in the clubhouse. And we got to trade 26. You to the... And we got to trade you, like, we got to be brutal. We got to trade people all the time and get all these different guys. And, like, this guy was about to walk on the field on this team, and now he's on our team. And
so
it's like,
that's just how sports work. I don't know how to tell. Like, I agree. It's weird that they talk. It's like modern day, like, I'm not going to go so far as to say it's modern day something. You know what I was going to say. But it is.
Hey, everyone knows, and isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting that we don't have to say what the modern day thing is?
It is. It has always been weird to me as a fellow sports outsider that people talk about. Like, there's always the meme of, like, oh, he's walking up onto the grass, and he is 28. A miracle that he's still able to play at such an old age. Like, there is, like, this, like, fuck you, we love you, and then you either get old or get injured and we hate you, or you play badly and we hate you. Like, there's this weird, like, commoditization of, like, players and drafting and this and that. But I'll say this, makes for some really compelling... This is basically like a stock market movie. Like, this is, like, the thing that, like, financial chuds, like, obsess over, like a Big Short or a Margin Call or a Wolf of Wall Street. But it's about people. And so it has a little bit more heart, is at least my take on it. And I get the systems of baseball rubbing you the wrong way. This movie also has a lot to say about the systems of baseball. I will say, my limited understanding of the sport is that essentially this way of thinking eventually ruined the sport and made it all metrics based. But
that's what I felt like the whole time. I was like, because it just feels like it's selling, like, this is like a heroic narrative and he's, like, fixing it. I'm like, but it's like, what are we saving? Like, we're saving this one team, and we're saving, but, like, the team doesn't feel like anything because it's not made up of people who are from Oakland, wherever that is.
That's always going to be.
God, I hate America.
Like, that is, Oakland is in California, first of all. That's not America, that's California, all right? We don't accept them.
Good point.
Because this is a red-leaning podcast. Don't you forget. We're here for the conservative gays, and that's it.
Hey, conservative gays, welcome back.
Let me put you this way. The thing they're trying to they're trying to like essentially win with the unfair odds, right? Like it's about the money. It's about beating the Yankees, or in this case, the Minnesota Twins, who beat them. But it's like, it's about, baseball is a sport that has essentially like no cap on how much money you can spend in it, whereas like basketball has like every team has like a max amount of budget, and so it keeps it like somewhat fair. So like there are teams in basketball that can go on hot streaks and win who are not like not the Lakers, basically. Baseball doesn't really have that. It's going to be the Yankees. It's going to be the Dodgers. The Dodgers are paying like $1 billion for Shohei Ohtani, as well as like another 20 great players, right? They just won the World Series, by the way, during the weekend that we were watching Moneyball, which I didn't plan because I don't follow baseball. But so the point of this is like, as this way of thinking is like coming up and being dismissed, Billy Beane, Brad Pitt, and Jonah Hill, who plays like an amalgamation of real people, but is not, his character name is not
really.
I don't think he's like a 1-to-1.
Okay.
And Bill James, who's a real guy, who's like the guy who's like the security guard who come up with this math formula, basically. They're trying to win with like a quarter of the resources. And it's not fair that in the trading system you're talking about and having like rubbing you the wrong way, as the movie starts, despite having less resources, they've picked like rookie players and developed them and made like a great team, and they almost win the World Series, I think, or one of the championships, and they lose. And then when they lose, the Yankees and other teams with big pocketbooks like take all their star players. So when they're talking the whole movie about Giambi was like their great player who they like molded from nothing and like were like a family and a team, and then as soon as he becomes a good enough baseball player, a team with a bigger pocketbook just goes,
like, picked
mine
out.
now.
Yeah.
And so there's no way for a team like Oakland, who has a smaller budget, to ever win in baseball. And so that's why Billy Beane is like, if we don't win the championship, we change nothing. But then the movie says, no, you did change a lot. But he can't get over that. And he's got his own personal bullshit because he was a bad baseball player who ruined his life by being convinced by scouts for like superficial reasons that he should be a baseball player when he wasn't that good.
I loved every scene of that part. I think those were
the de-aging actually like is.
Oh, is it de-aging stuff?
Yeah,
I wasn't
like he.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he looks like Brad Pitt in his 50s throughout most of the movie, and then he looks like he doesn't. I'm not gonna say he looks 18, but he looks convincingly like very, very young Brad Pitt in a way that like I think is pretty seamless. In a movie that doesn't have a lot of digital effects, it's like that's pretty impressive.
Right. Yeah, I just liked the. I more liked the energy whenever it would cut to those scenes because it would just be like, this guy's so sad. Like, it would just be like, this guy, everything bad happened to him, and he can't even watch baseball, and he has to go to the gym and then just like turn the TV on mute and then like peek at it and then like run away like scared.
I love the bashful general manager of like, oh, I can't watch the games, but I'm gonna watch it with like one eye open, like Mallory watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I have to.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's such a tsundere general manager, like it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk. I think we should talk about. Here's the thing.
Where do you want to start?
Okay. If we compare this to The Big Short, which I think is like
it's a very common comparison.
I liked The Big Short. I think because it was like, here's a bunch of information about the like housing collapse that happened when you were in like middle school and was very bad, and here's how and why it happened and all this stuff. And I was like, this is cool. I'm learning a lot while I'm watching this movie. And the kind of characters, like the protagonists, like they express remorse for everything they did, basically, and you don't really like root for them in a way by the end of it, I feel like, because they're like, oh, big whoop, we got money out of this. Like, this is ruining the whole society of America or whatever, you know? Like, they're...
Sure. Don't
in
dance,
a way that...
right? Brad Pitt connection.
Yeah.
Just don't fucking dance. You know what happens when unemployment goes down 1%? 50,000 people die, or whatever it is. I can't remember what the quote is.
Yeah, it's just like... But then, like, this movie is like... I feel like it wants you to root for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just...
But you don't, because you hate baseball and America and sports.
Okay.
And our conservative listeners.
Okay, I'm sorry to all of our conservative fan base that we've built up over the years, but I'm sorry to the real Americans in the audience, but these are my reasons why I don't think... I'll start from the start of why I had a hard time getting behind this protagonist. Number one.
So dumb.
I feel like the inverse of Save the Cat. You know, Save the Cat in screenwriting. It's like...
Sure.
You have the character do something that endears them to you because they're altruistic. I feel like the inverse is get mad about baseball. We open to this dude sitting in an empty thing, and he's just like, "Argh!" And he's like, and I'm like, all right. And then he just starts throwing TVs around and stuff. And I get it. I liked when he threw the first TV. I really did. And I was like, this is really funny. And his life's falling apart. And I thought that was a pit. And then he just keeps throwing stuff. And then you just have that uncomfortable fucking scene where he's doing the not my tempo to the whole team. Because the weed guy was dancing on the table. And I'm like, you knew he was the weed guy. I thought we were pro weed guy. And like a weed guy's being like, hey, you know, I'm the little brother of like the good player or whatever. And then he's like,
Mallory's losing
he's being
fun.
like, is losing fun. And I'm like, Jesus, man. Okay, yeah. The moral of the story is enjoy the show. I get it. And this is him in his like dark moments. But he just never enjoys the show. And I'm just kind of like,
Mallory, I think your fundamental inability to respect people for caring about a sports, like the outcome of a sports game, I think is holding you back from enjoying this movie. Because I know you're coming at it from the perspective of who gives a shit who wins the baseball game. I know you're coming at it from this perspective. But if you allow the latent sports fan in all of us, including me, who doesn't give a fuck about sports or math, if you allow yourself to say, what if I did care about the outcome of this baseball game, then I think it becomes fucking gorgeous. And you've got that fucking score coming in and the doon, doon, and the crack of the bat, and he hears it in the gym where he's too scared to watch the game, and the fans they're despondent, and then they're freaking out, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman says, you know what, I'm gonna put you in, Chris Pratt. And Chris Pratt, who's been a fucking weed in the wind the whole movie, he hits it, he misses first, but then on the second one, he cracks it out of the fucking stadium, and it's a home run. It's awesome. It's so good, but you don't care about baseball, and I don't care about baseball.
Am I allowed to push back on this assessment of why I didn't like the thing? I think it's like when I'm bringing up like him throwing the things, it's just like there is something culturally about this sports thing in the way where it's like I get caring about stuff and outcomes and stuff, right? And
you
really
can't hit me with
your
Gen Z cynical nothing matters. It's lame to be passionate.
I'm really trying to relate to like you just put it in the context of like things that matter to me and I care about the results of and stuff like that, you know? But it's just there is just something so noxious about the
macho sports throw thing. Like style.
Macho aggressiveness, the kind of drabness and schlubbiness of everyone in the movie, I think is like, it's what these guys are really like, and I'm like, fuck these guys. I think that like there's something about like the. I know one, and because it reminded me of whenever SportsCenter would be on my house when I was a kid, because my dad and my brother really like soccer. And they also just like sports in general. And SportsCenter would be on, and I would hear SportsCenter. And there is this part where like this guy is like talking about how awful Billy Bean is, and like when he's at his low point or whatever, and it's like, you just can't change the game. You can't do it. You do this, but at the end of the day, it comes down to this and this, and we have our systems, and I can't do it. And it's like the way that people talk about it.
Mallory, this movie says those people suck. That's the point.
Yeah, like it's just so hard to like be in a room with it. Do you understand? Like, it's not.
Yeah, that's
like,
a you problem.
So
I will say that is a you problem. I agree that if I ever hear like ESPN, I'm like, these people are monsters. They're talking about human beings. I get where you're coming from. But if you have such a like black licorice reaction to that when that is portrayed as the villain of the movie, and you're still going, I don't like that these villains are doing villainous stuff. Like, I think that's what's weird to me about it, because this movie is going, fuck those people. Like, every time you hear any of the radio or the TV chatter, it's always like...
Or the reporter.
Well, you just can't blame Art Howe for this. Art Howe is Philip Seymour Hoffman's character. He's like essentially the baseball coach.
I know. Like, you don't... I watched the movie. I know Art Howe.
I understand.
And his circle eyebrows.
As someone who has gotten the entirety of his baseball knowledge from this movie, it took me a couple of watches to pick up on a lot of the nuances of this and that, right?
Yeah.
Contract disputes and whatnot. But the fact that every single time they're going, you just can't blame Art Howe, or if they're doing well. Art Howe really took this crap team that sucks and somehow made them win 20 games in a row. And you're sitting there going, no, you're wrong.
Yeah. And it's like, I liked the bit at the end a lot where the guy, I think it was the Red Sox guy who was saying this, but it was like, the people are saying this because their careers depend on it, basically. Like, they don't want the systems to change, so it's like they're gonna be delusional and in denial or intentionally like
first guy through the wall,
what is happening.
He always gets bloodied. Whether it's a government or a system of doing things.
Yeah.
When I can't remember all of it. I really do have this movie somewhat memorized, but I can't quite remember. But that scene like unlocks the whole movie, where it's like, you're right, and the dumb people who are like have their heads in the sand are, if they're not completely reinventing their bullpen right now, they're dinosaurs. That's like the whole idea. And even though like the Oakland A's ultimately don't win, they have changed the game forever, which is Billy Bean's goal, which is to get rid of that good body nonsense from that scouting meeting in the beginning, right? I'm explaining a movie that you also can pick up on because you're an adult with with media literacy. But I'm telling you, it's awesome, and you're not as excited as I am.
I just think because it's like I'm trying to think of like parallels of like, because
you're trying to find a movie that does this but without sports, basically.
No, like just like. In like real life of like what we're cheering, because like ultimately the system that he's bringing in like just seems like it's like a more efficient way of doing the bad thing that's already happening.
It ultimately results
in a way that will help
in that, because the rich teams essentially eventually just adopt his system and just perfect it, right?
Exactly. So it's like it's like what if we did this in a more brutalistic and like statistically based and mathematically proven way? You're the first one to do it and like revolutionize it, but it's like it feels like I'm watching like some social media tech genius like invent an algorithm that's gonna like cause Donald Trump to be president like 4 years in the future.
This is a Canberra Analytics like documentary or something.
Yeah, and then like some other social media platforms are being like, we're not going to use that, because like that's not good when every social media company is trying to sell the same. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, like yay you one person for being smart and taking a risk, and then it's like, and then like I understand that because you explained to me that like Jonah Hill's character is an amalgam of like several people, but then it's like, I mean, we're not even cheering for this guy because he he's a tragic character he has all his depth and stuff, but like we're not cheering for him as like the one who invented it. He's just the one who took a chance on this like idea or this system because of the circumstances that he was in. It's like, okay, good for you. Like you're still still gonna be.
Mean old scout guy calls him Math Boy, and you're like, no, he's not Math Boy. He cares about the sport. You can tell he does. He has his little like baseball stadium like framed thing behind him, and you could tell that he actually loves the sport, but he's not a traditional baseball fan or baseball like macho guy, right? Like he's a pudgy Jonah Hill math geek, but he loves the sport, and he wants these undervalued players to get their fair shot.
I like statistics. I like to put things in a spreadsheet, you know.
I don't, but I love this movie.
I can relate to Jonah Hill's character for sure.
Do you? So let me ask you this: do you not feel the decision at the end of the movie is that Brad Pitt can go to the Red Sox and take his system that he made that almost won him everything with a team that has no money, and then with a team that has actual resources go on and win, and he chooses instead to stay in Oakland? He says, oh man, this place is a dump. I really wanted to win here. And he turns down the money. So he doesn't go work for the devil and like bring his like system to the devil, right? Like he chooses to stay in Oakland, and guess what? They never win, and they still never won, and now they don't exist. They're moving to Vegas. So it's like the movie, I think, is playing with that a little bit. I mean, it didn't know that they were going to move to Vegas at the time, but this movie came out 10 years after this attempt, and it's like he's still trying to win that championship and never has. It's tragic. Like it is sad, and the movie is saying like there is no way to fix baseball, but they got damn close, and they at least like put some water on the fire, right?
Did they? In what way was water put on the fire? I guess because like I guess I can see it as like the fact that he didn't go to Red Sox in a way is like he's being loyal. Is he like he's being loyal to Oakland
despite? Well, no, people just move around, right? Like that's how it works.
Yeah.
But he's choosing to like say that like it doesn't. A win with the Red Sox with this system doesn't prove anything because the Red Sox are one of the richest teams in baseball. A win with Oakland proves that any team can do it with a combination of math and people skills, and just like you can overcome that like money barrier essentially by like being scrappy and thinking around like corners and stuff. And also, like, the other effect it has is that the more superficial reasons to undervalue players, like the guy who throws funny, a friend of ours who plays baseball regularly was telling me essentially that guy went on to have, like, an incredible career, even though he was completely overlooked by, like, everybody. Like, I believe the A's, at least in the movie, are the first team to actually pick him up for Major League Baseball, despite the fact that he could be a really good player, just because he throws funny. And he looks weird.
Yeah.
And the guy who waddles like a duck and then it cracks the homer. And it's a metaphor, Mallory. It's a metaphor. I know it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Chris Pratt's character. I like Chris Pratt as more of a shy, insecure role. And I think Star-Lord
let's talk about the cast
a
little bit.
Okay.
Can we do that, Mallory? Can we talk about the cast a little bit?
Yeah, man. We can talk about anything you want.
Listen, I refuse. You will not defeat me. You will not. This team will never lose again. You will never convince me this movie's bad.
There's gonna be text over the end of the podcast that's like, and Sam is still trying to convince Mallory to like Moneyball to this day. It's gonna be
here's something that we talk about all the time in this podcast, which is like the meta narrative under the narrative, right? Here's the cast of Moneyball, and let's take it back to 2011.
Okay.
Brad Pitt, coming off of a decade of like not his best work, like 2000 to 2010. It's not the 90s Brad Pitt. It's not Fight Club 7. like it's not the Brad Pitt that made him famous, right? It is like Ocean's 11 sequels and Benjamin Button and just kind of like weird choice and a very messy divorce to Angelina Jolie.
Is he Benjamin Button?
He is Benjamin Button.
That's crazy.
I know.
Didn't know that.
And so this kickstarts, like, people love comeback stories in Hollywood, like Travolta in Pulp Fiction or the Matthew McConaughey Renaissance or whatever. Like, people love it when actors who have kind of like started slumming it like come back and do really well. This is Brad Pitt, like you've never seen him before. He's an old man. He's divorced. He's schlubby. Despite looking like hot
his
Brad
gorgeous anime hair.
Right. He's got I noticed this for the first time in this viewing because I'm just looking at like the most random shit now because I've seen this movie so many times. Yeah. He's got like fish oil tablets on his desk because he's an old ass man, and so he has to get his damn fish oil. Like,
that's funny.
It's character actor Brad Pitt. Like, I think this is like my favorite performance of his, but it's not him being suave like casino heist man Brad Pitt or whatever. It's him being like a little bit more on the back foot while in his actual career being on the back foot. That's one. You've got Chris Pratt, who is in between Parks and Recreation and Star-Lord, right? And
he's not Star-Lord yet.
He's not Star-Lord yet. He's wants to be a leading man, is about to go on like a decade-long run of being a leading man in good and not good movies. So they get him for cheap, essentially. Like, he is a 5-tool player that they pick up for cheap, and he's like the 7th like build cast in this movie, right? That's interesting. It's weirdly like life imitates art, imitating life. You got Philip Seymour Hoffman, who just is like just career best, fucking underappreciated, incredible actor. That doesn't really follow my narrative, but
just a note about Philip Seymour Hoffman. God rest his soul. I've never wanted to punch him more in a movie than this character. This is the worst guy. This reminds me of like every time I've been at like a government office and they've been like, I will not lift a finger to help you. This reminds me of every time I've had a college professor or teacher who's like, I'm not going to assist you in any way. Die on the vine, you purple-haired freak. He is just the worst guy. And here's the thing. I've seen Synecdoche, New York, and I wanted to punch him in that movie because that's a really bad guy as well. Man, amazing actor. Really good at playing just punchable human beings.
The only thing I can think of for my narrative I'm building here is that he is so good, and he's also playing the character that's like the most misrepresented by this movie. Like, apparently that coach is like, A, wasn't this big fat guy, and it's like, why did he make me really fat? But B, wasn't like, I will never do Moneyball, Brad Pitt, Billy Bean. Like, apparently he's like the least like generously portrayed in this movie, which is just weird and interesting.
They needed a villain.
They needed a villain, yeah. The guy, Brady, who's like the lead scout, is a former baseball player who, in real life, hates the concept of like sabermetrics and Moneyball. And you can feel it in every scene.
Is he the guy who's arguing with him and he says, and then they're like, fuck you, and then he like leaves?
I'm not going to fire you, Brady. Fuck you, Billy. Now I am. Yeah, he's that guy. That dude.
Yeah. That
random baseball player who turned actor. That's like the best character actor I've ever seen. I fucking hate that guy. And that's what makes the movie so good.
Believable stuff.
Now there's
Here's
one
the thing.
more I haven't
it's
mentioned
not
yet.
a bad movie. It's like a good movie, but it's like it's about something that I don't want to look at and watch. I think that's like what I'm really trying to tell you. Like
that's what makes it a good movie. Mallory, I hate baseball. I hate math. I want to put Jonah Hill in a locker. But it's compelling. The use of like real world footage too, like it has that documentary style to it. The using the same fucking soundtrack song over and over and over again to like metaphorically be like represent like the hard work. Hey, you're making a face. It's good. It's a good song. It works.
I actually
Boom,
specifically
boom.
noted like this song really annoys me, and then I was like, I can't believe they're playing it again.
It's good.
I
You're wrong. You know what I love when this is
no,
a
but
thing
like
I
no,
love.
Sam, hear me. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying it's a good movie, but like it's like
It's not enough to be a good movie, Mallory. You also have to love it. That's what I'm demanding right now.
What I'm saying is like it's like this is like when I realize all my negative reactions and the emotions coming out of me is me being like, this is what this is. Oh no, you know what I mean? It's like you can tell the best like version of this you can, but it's like it's like you're watching a realistic portrayal of like who these people are. It's like, wow, okay, I started thinking that these were not good people, and now I have like verifiable facts to say that they're
I'm gonna
not good
start
people.
saying mean shit about you. This is
Wait,
too far.
what do you mean? Is that not? Were we not on the same page about that?
We are, but I think that's awesome. I love when a movie can sell me
Okay.
on like a system or a thing that even I don't like. I like being manipulated by media. I don't know how else to put it. Like, my favorite pieces of media introduce me to a world that I don't care about and make it compelling. Like,
Okay.
I don't care about Rakugo. I love Akane Banashi. I don't care about baseball. I love Moneyball.
Yeah, but you're like, I love Akane and Akane Banashi is the thing.
I love Billy Bean in this movie. I love that
That's
he's
where we're-
fucking shaving at his desk. I love that when he fires all the only good players they have in the old way of doing things. I love that he sits in the same chair of the player he just fired and goes, "We cut Giambi too." It's awesome. Like all the little like mannerisms and the acting of it. It's just so great.
He's such a dick.
shithead, and it's great.
He's so mean. He's like, I hated the scene where he was like on the phone with like 4 different guys, and he's
You're the
like,
worst.
"Yeah, call me back, but you better call me." And then he's like, "I'm gonna call this
He
guy
eats
now."
popcorn by the handful, then spits it out in the trash can because he doesn't have time to chew.
And the whole time he's like peacocking in front of his son Jonah Hill. I didn't want to shove him in a locker. I wanted to become his mother. That's kind
I
of what I
understand.
felt about him in this movie.
Billy Bean is the mother
Ugh.
hen to Jonah Hill. He makes him assistant general manager, and there's a bunch of weird references to like, I'm probably gonna get fired, and then you're gonna have to do this job.
Damn.
He pulled him from nothing. A 25-year-old kid with a degree from Yale. What's he doing being assistant general manager? It's great.
All right. What was the next thing you wanted to tell me about Moneyball?
I want to hear more of your opinion because I've just been talking at you for 50 minutes, which is what expected, but you know.
Okay. Let me. I had like some notes. Do you think when they said like you're gonna get kicked out and you're gonna have to work at Dick's Sporting Goods, over under? What do we think? Do you think that was product placement or not? Because, like,
No, because it's treated as like that's like the ninth circle of hell for like a sports professional to like
yeah,
have to go sell sneakers.
I guess it makes sense. It's just also seemed like you wouldn't. Okay, all right. It's not a. All right, it's not. You said it's not. It's not. All right, I don't
It could
understand.
be. I think that'd be a weird move for Dick's Sporting Goods to be like,
Yeah, to be
make
like
make us
endorse
like
us being the worst.
the worst case scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also like the thing where it's like, hey, like just say our name as long as people are
Sure.
thinking about us.
Well, this movie's full of like
yeah.
product placement, but it's product placement from 2002. Like it's like sour straws and shit like that, like shit you'd find at a baseball stadium.
Yeah, I liked the thing where he got mad because he had to pay $1 for like a Pepsi or whatever.
Billy likes to have the money on the field. Soda money?
Yeah. What does that mean, man? It's stuff like that where I'm like, I mean, you're indistinguishable from these people you're fighting. I don't care about you at all.
Not at all. No, the point is that they're broke and they can't afford soda.
That's fair.
Every
Yeah.
dime they have is going to paying players because they can't afford to attract good talent because they don't have enough money to pay players. Well,
There was a good part. I was endeared to Billy Bean at one part because he was angrily driving donuts in the middle of the night and like raging out and just going and like freaking out. And then he finishes like doing a bunch of donuts. He just sits there and he goes, "Yep." It was really funny to me. That was his like reaction. Like it felt like just a very self-aware breakdown, because I liked all the scenes where he's like talking to his daughter and he just turns out, he's like, "Baby, don't worry, everything's going fine." Like there's like zero betrayal of like, it's like, there's
hard
no
cut
cracks in the system.
to the most anxious man in America. Yeah.
just hard cut to him like destroying things and like like being like, hey, don't worry about it. Just like,
I got uptown problems, which aren't real problems. I'm not going to get fired. I like when he's talking to her about like, well, don't go on the internet or watch TV or listen to the radio or talk to people. Like the implication just being everyone in the world is saying he's lost his marbles.
yeah, no, that was good. I like that. My other notes, when they were getting to the part, I took this note at Oakland A's 17 straight wins. So they weren't even close to 20 at that point. And I at that point, I let out an audible sigh because I was like, yeah, we get it, man. We get it. And then the musical cue on the hit at the end of the game pissed me off so much. I don't know, man. I think it's
Mallory
just like...
hates fun. Mallory hates...
Just made me want sports to not exist. Like, I feel like the movie... Because at the end of the day, it's like, baseball is romantic. I'm like, this makes me want to... I'm like... This makes me want to not learn more about sports, because then I will turn my like kind of reactive like distaste towards sports into a like political thing of we should get rid of sports. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to go that far. I have enough on my plate. You know?
I'd certainly hate for you to be that become that person.
Yeah. I'm saying I just have this reactive disgust, but like the way that I am about it is like, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave it alone. It's gonna be in some little corner. I don't want to reach a point where I'm like, I need to make it I need to do something about this. This cannot be let stand. You know what I mean? And I feel like this movie is like pushing me in that direction of like, oh, we shouldn't have baseball. You know what I mean? That was the feeling that I had, because I was like, this is bad for everyone, and Brad Pitt's made it worse. But I guess if he didn't, I mean, it's capitalism. I guess
I've already portrayed you as the stubborn baseball scout with superficial reasons for disliking the plan, while I am the cool, calm, collected, furniture throwing Billy Bean. So with the handsome swoop of the hair. So you know.
I just feel like we seem to have the same opinions about what happened in the movie, and then just like I don't like I'm not feeling the romance. You know what I mean? I'm just not understanding what it is. Because this is like you're saying like, oh, you're being too cynical, but like I feel like we agree on everything. Like we agree that
it's finding a sliver of like optimism and like a narrow chance for baseball, which is a system that sucks, to be a little less sucky for like a 2-hour movie, and then just having some of the best filmmaking techniques ever. Like I think this movie does montages really well. I personally think it does score really well. I like that it intercuts live commentary from 2002 and real life footage, and it makes you feel like it has a sense of place and time and seizing the moment, carpe diem, what have you, that
was okay, definitely
endears me to it, despite being like, didn't this make baseball even worse ultimately, and this and that, and like the end result of the movie is the Red Sox finally got rid of their losing streak because of this team that had to work for it, who didn't win.
And then they got bought by Liverpool. And then my dad said, "You're a Red Sox fan now, Mallory." And I said,
yeah, or
okay.
they got... And then baseball was bought by Saudi Arabia. You know, like, it's a single human story amongst an ocean of, like, corporate muckety-muck and just being like, oh, baseball is kind of lame.
It made me feel bad for people who play sports. I'll say that much. When Chris Pratt was getting like nervous and he's sitting on the bench, I was just thinking about like my brother when he played soccer. Seriously, I was like, wow, that's unfortunate that it took this thing that's like this fun hobby that you play, and then it's like just let's make it the worst possible thing ever. And it's like you're just surrounded by people who just like lean into it so much, and like I don't know, it's like Billy Bean doesn't like to lose, and he's really stubborn, and he's like, I don't have a it feels like he feels like the Joker to me. That's what he feels like, because he's like, okay, like all my hope and optimism is crushed. Like I was misled into baseball. I built these people up, and they're just being like picked away from me and the system, and like we got to shake it up. So you know what? I'm just gonna like unleash the wrath of like Excel spreadsheets onto.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't think he's mistreating the players, though. I think that's where we disagree. Is like,
yeah,
there's the conversation he has with Jonah Hill about like you have to keep it just business, but he isn't like. I think the metaphor used is like, would you rather get shot in the head or get shot 5 times in the chest and bleed to death? I think that is like a reasonable take, and he can be a little curmudgeon-y or whatever, but like it is a reality of all sports is that you do trade players around like poker chips, and like within that system, I think he's being like mostly fair and mostly like sympathetic. And I think especially the scene where he's talking to David Justice, who's like the older player, and he's like, cards on the table here. I'm just going to keep using gambling metaphors. Like, I want to milk the last little bit of baseball out of you, and you want to stay in the game. So let's talk about, like, there's an honesty to it that I think is refreshing and probably not true to life, but within the movie is endearing. And, like, it would be nice if people just told the truth when it comes to, like, these decisions, right?
I think that, like, I do think the parts, because there's the same guy, David Justice, is, like, having the conversation with, which, like, that was, like, my favorite guy in the movie, probably. But he's, like, talking to Jonah Hill on the plane, and he's being, like, why doesn't he ever come to the thing? And, like, we just came from a scene where he's, like, I never hang out with the players because I'm going to have to cut them later. And then he just says, like, is it so it's easier to cut us? And Jonah Hill's going, like, tugging on his collar. And it's like, he's like, all right, I'm done. And he puts his headphones back on. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, that's, and then, but then, like, I think those scenes where he is finally, like, you know, melting those balls and he's interacting with the players and he's, like, talking to David Joseph, like, those are all good. They just come after he's done all the, like, soulless trading. They come after the, like, we kind of have 27 guys in the clubhouse.
26. You did that on purpose.
Yeah. But and it comes after. I think the one that, like, got me the worst is the, like, not my tempo scene where he gets really mad at them because that's just, like, objectively he's just taking out his anger on these, like, players for something that, like, at least the way the narrative is shaped it is all Philip Seymour Hoffman's fault.
Right.
And it's like it like that all, like, really grates on my ability. Like, I feel like if I'm, like, Chris Pratt in that room, like, even after he's like patting me on the back and telling me I can do everything and I'm, like, the best guy ever or whatever, like, I'm still pretty touch and go. I don't feel like I'm part of a family at all. And yeah, it's like, there's not a lot of optimism to be found, and I think that's in the point of the movie, but it's like it was really hard to find anything to really, like, latch onto. Like, at least they're gonna do this, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
I would say, like, are they the warmest characters? Is the warmest organization? Probably not.
No.
But the only other two we see is, like, Tim Cook, Red Sox owner guy, who's like, I don't even know what she likes. She always buys my presents for me, and we're gonna have coffee sent up, and we're gonna eat later, and I make so much money. Or the Cleveland guys, which is like the 6-person committee of all people going with clipboards, going whisper, whisper, whisper. Like, I think that those are, like, even colder than the Billy Bean Oakland, like, schlubby, shitty ball pen, like, experience, right?
No, it's like, it's certainly good at like making me root against like the villains of the movie, as I said, like Philip Seymour Hoffman. But then like the both of those guys, you're like, oh yeah, like fuck you, like yeah. It's just
I like the Red Sox guy just because he
watch.
also tells the truth, and it's like finally someone.
Yeah.
Like finally someone's saying what we're all thinking, which is like this does work, and all this denial is like stupid. But anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just it's so hard to get on board with good old Billy. So that's
good old Billy.
That's my take on this movie. Yeah, it's not bad. If I had to choose between watching this and watching Stop Making Sense, I would watch Stop Making Sense easily.
Two great movies. How can you pick?
If I had to choose between watching this and Emilia Perez...
Don't say anything you can't take back, all right? Hold on. Mallory?
If I had to choose between watching this and, I don't know, like a lot of other movies, it's just like, there is just like a watching paint dry element to it. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, everyone's just talking in that like, kind of tone of voice. You're like, yeah.
You can't have it both
man.
ways. You can't be mad that they like judge it up by having Brad Pitt throw desks around, but also be like, everyone talks too mild-manneredly. You can't have it both ways. You gotta have. If you want the juice, you gotta respect the juice.
The juice I wanted was Brad Pitt to be like, what was the guy's name who left at the beginning that they say like 30 million times? Jambi, yeah. I wanted him to be like, Jambi, but Jambi, I raised you from a little tadpole. You're my son. And Jambi's like, I'm sorry, it's just business. And then Brad Pitt's like,
I think you're right, Mallory. What I mean. That would make the movie much better. That'd make it way more rewarding. I want Jonah Hill to come in as the Greek choir and go, he already does this, but go, baseball is an unfair game, and we got to make it better, and we're going to do it together as a team. This team is your family. Like, really? Do you really want that?
Like a musical,
do you really want it to be every other sports movie?
The way you said Greek's choir, it's like you get like because Jonah Hill's representing like three people, so just like have the three people be like the three people in Hercules that are being like, he was strong and he is like, Billy Bean was plucked from Stanford. He
was like misled, and now he is a general manager for a shitty team. Yeah. And okay, Bobby Kotick won't give him any more money.
I don't have any good points to say, but I just do you understand a little bit what I mean in the sense of like, obviously I don't want to see Brad Pitt ugly crying and fake crying to the movie. I'm just not good at acting. Yeah,
I like the subtleties of it. Like, I think there's a lot of like micro expressions and micro like character choices of like, you can just watch how characters sit in this movie, whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable or like full of nervous energy. And I think that like that's my shit, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really like the storytelling in like addition by subtraction, to go to The Bear for a second. The Bear, a show I love, but a show that often has characters go, and this is how I'm feeling, but is maybe better when it's like smaller looks and like micro conversations or what have you. Like, I like both.
Yeah.
But I think Moneyball is a refreshing movie because it doesn't... There's like one sports scene in this entire movie, and it's a movie about sports, right? I think I like operating from a perspective of like weakness or challenge, right? Addition by subtraction, what have you.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's a really, really, really good piece of filmmaking because I cannot say this enough. I don't like baseball. I'm losing my voice talking about it, but I like this movie.
It's like the Mighty Ducks and the Sandlot. You know what I mean? I would prefer more. So it's not, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like not a pure hatred of sports is where I'm coming from. It is stuff. I just think, I really wish there was like more, and I think that's the thing, is that it's like where I ultimately come down on it, right? I'm being like all jokey joke, whatever. It's a good movie that's not for me. Like there's no character that I can sink my teeth into in the movie where I'm like, okay, you're kind of reacting to these situations in a way that I would react. You know what I mean? There's like one cut to the secretary that like he keeps calling for her, and then there's like a single shot of her like he does a thing. It's like kind of funny where he like calls for like a guy and he's like, no, he's already on the line. And it
never
just,
mind,
like,
I got
shows...
it. He hits him on speed dial on this little shitty phone.
It just shows like the opposite perspective for like a single shot, and it's like looking outside of the doorway to like where he's been yelling to the secretary, and you just see her like kind of like nod and smile. And I'm like, man, I feel like if she had been in the movie more and she didn't know anything about baseball and she'd just been like sweeping up glass or something, I'd be like, okay, I can really like ground there's like some solid like footing for me to stand on. You know what I mean?
There's a couple of little characters like that. Like I really like the I think he's on the coaching staff, but he's always in like the scout meeting. But the like, essentially, he's the only black guy in the room, and he's the one to be like kind of come over to Billy's side, or at least be like willing to hear new ideas. And I think that's an interesting casting choice. He's the guy who goes with him to recruit Chris Pratt, and it's like...
Yeah, and he's like undercutting all
jokey.
This yeah.
It's got my favorite joke in the movie, which is like... something like, well, what will the fans think? And it's like, oh, why don't we recruit one of them? Like, maybe one of them could play first base. It's like, it's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Walsh. It's incredibly difficult. Like, it's like... There's a couple of characters like that who are just like... Their job is to look and be like, has this guy lost his marbles? Or maybe this is working?
Yeah. No, definitely.
And Suzanne, the secretary, is, well, without saying a word, is a very good version of that.
Shout out Suzanne. Quick diva of the evening is the reporter who is interviewing them, and she's so awful. But she says, "Get out of my shot." Which is really good.
Can you get out of my shot? Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's talking to like Mr. Justice. I forgot his first name now. David Justice. And she's like, Are you like 100%? He's like, a lot of people are saying I'm old, but I still got it. I'm going to show them. We're going to see how I can do. And she goes, I asked if you were 100%. And I was like, okay. That was really funny to me.
They haven't played a single game at this point either. Like, that's before the first game. It's like, fuck you.
It's the most TMZ horrid shit ever. Like, this is really bad. That was funny.
I just want to reiterate, I think the things you don't like about baseball, I think this movie also doesn't like. In terms of, like, the commodification of players, how the media talks about baseball, the money part of it, the, like... I think this movie, even though the end result is ultimately like nothing changes, I think it is like it captures a special moment where things could have changed or did briefly change or what have you. And I gotta hope that there's some people who throw funny or who never go to second but because they fall down and they're fat, but then they strike a home run. I hope that some of those people are getting their chances now because of Moneyball, the concept.
Yeah. I mean, like that I guess is like the silver lining that you brought that up earlier, and I think I am missing over that part, is that it is like, getting players in there a little bit more objectively based on skill level and different things they can do, rather than like trying to build the Saja boys of which is basically what this like room of old like conservative men are trying to do at the beginning of the movie.
It's giving people a fair shot based on the merits of their like skill frame, which I get is a kind of like an Ayn Rand like weird concept, which is like it has its own moral problems, right? Of like, why do we value people best just on their skills? But it is a sports movie at the end of the day, like, and I think that like the system where you're recruited for being like looking like a baseball player, whatever that means, is much worse than at least the system where like you throw funny but you still get your shot at the big leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you not
Yeah.
be romantic about baseball? When you rank this F, you're just gonna be, you know, just a bad person. I think. So I think ultimately where I'm coming down on it. I got you
Is it
so
rank
good.
time?
I played you like
Yeah,
a goddamn
okay.
fiddle.
That's the thing. That is the thing. That is the thing.
That's the
is
thing. I knew what I was doing.
Of it. Is you succeeded in a way that I thought was impossible. I did not going into. I went into this movie thinking like, okay, like this isn't gonna be like, watching a music video, but like I was ready to have fun. I was expecting The Big Short, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, okay, like this might be a little weird and quirky, and like maybe I'll learn a couple things. And I, I teased this to you before we started the podcast, but we have a mutual friend who you shared with me that the two of you love Moneyball and talk about it a lot and reference it a lot.
All the time.
And I texted him like, Sam made me watch Moneyball. And his response, and this is not him ragging on the movie, this is just him knowing me, right?
Yep.
His response was, "Did you want to scratch your eyes out?"
Yeah,
And
your
my
reputation
answer-
precedes you.
My answer is yes. I'm going to put it in the E rank. I
Ew.
cannot rank it higher than Stop Making Sense. Which I did not put in the lowest rank. I'll rank it above Amelia Perez in quality. I would not want to watch this again. I really just wouldn't. And it made me mad because it made me think about baseball people. I don't know. It's like...
Look, Mallory, you wanted me to stop pitching you like 120 mile per hour fastballs of like, here's like 800 S tier things. I think I did. I think I served my
No, it's good.
my goal today. I wanted
For the show,
revenge. It was good. Maybe the next time you pitch a Shark Boy and Lava Girl, maybe you'll think twice.
I really will, because now I know what it feels like. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think I truly have not felt with a single pitch, like, because like Amelia Perez is bad, and it's not like entertainingly bad, but it was like there's the interest of like this is an Oscar movie. There's the interest of like I haven't discovered it, and there's the interest of like the political side of everything, right? This is like this is just like an objectively good movie that has been rated and everything, and it's old. So it's like there's I'm not breaking new ground by being like, oh wow, like shallow gay person doesn't like Moneyball. This is not like a breaking news, right? Like,
Still don't know why the gays had to be mentioned for the produce metaphor, but I'll take it.
It's just like this is not like surprising anybody. So it's like so now I know what it feels like. So I think I will be more thoughtful in my future pitches. I would like to play us out because I did practice this. I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Life is a maze and love is a riddle. I don't know where to go. Can't do it alone. I've tried. I don't know why. Slow it down. Oh fuck! I fucked it up. Shit. Here you go. You're such a loser, Sam. Such a loser, Sam. You're such a loser, Sam. Such a loser, Sam.
I think she does a good job, but that like singing performance is like nails on a chalkboard for me. But I can
Really, I loved her.
I can
She was
remove myself
amazing.
from that and know that that's just a problem with me, and objectively be like, this is a great choice for the movie and a great ending shot where it's just like Brad Pitt driving even closer. Now we're just looking at his eyes, and the movie ends.
I like her performance. She did a good job. I like the daughter. I didn't bring her up the whole time because I was saving that little arrow in my quiver.
I understand.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Well, Mallory, now that you know I have the ability to just like ruin your week, what's your pitch? You gonna go for more tit for tat, or are you gonna, we're gonna go back on a positive note?
Sam,
Mallory,
I wish I could like learn my lesson, right?
me
but-
too. You still could. You know, you haven't said anything yet.
Here's the thing. Our next podcast is going to release on November the 21st.
Okay.
That is the eve, the day prior to a very important day in history, November 22nd. Any
Okay.
idea
No.
what day it might be? I've been waiting for so long for this, right? And then you pitched me Moneyball to be like, please don't do this. But it's like the machine's been in motion for this long that we got to do it.
What the hell
Sam,
are you gonna pitch?
November 22nd is Blackbeard's birthday.
I see.
So I think it's been a while since we did the Blackbeard quiz. So I think it's time that we watch Blackbeard Terror at Sea, which is a documentary about Blackbeard.
Mallory, let me ask you
That
this.
we
Have you
just learned about
seen
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard Terror at Sea?
No. So here's the thing. We did something you don't like. We did something I don't like. We've done plenty of things that we both like. How about we do something that neither of us is going to like at all?
There's a lot of fun pirate options you could choose. We could watch like a Scooby-Doo pirate episode. We could watch like One Piece. like what? Why does it have to be a documentary?
Because I felt embarrassed last time that Blackbeard came up on the podcast about my lack of knowledge about Blackbeard. When we did the Blackbeard quiz, as you recall, we famously only got like 6 out of 10. And I want to do better, and I just want to know more about Blackbeard, and I want to learn. And I think that what better way to learn than a documentary? So...
Have we done a documentary before?
I don't think so. I think
don't
this
think
is
we have.
pretty gross.
You know, I thought like surely by the end of our first year of podcasting, we would have like hit all the formats, and we're getting close to the end, but I think we're still discovering new ways to torture each other, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah, no, it is. There is something beautiful in art, but here's the thing. I think we'll probably be on the same page. I mean, well, maybe we won't, because you'll be annoyed that I pitched it to you. But
probably.
I don't think I'm gonna like this. But I just want to know shit about
this
Blackbeard.
documentary.
The name is Blackbeard Terror at Sea. I believe it's like a Nat Geo. I have to do my research, but I think it's like a Nat Geo documentary from like 2006.
You can't even give me the like shitty Netflix documentary style where I can make fun of that. It's got to be like as dry as possible.
See, okay, there was this Netflix series that was like Black Sails or something, and there's but it was like I think like 6 or 8 like 45-minute episodes, and I was like, oh, that
There's
sounds
Black
like
Sails. There's Our Flag Means Death. There's all kinds of pirate media out there.
You
But
know
choose.
these?
I just know of pirate stuff. I haven't watched
know
most of it.
them. Yeah.
Our Flag Means Death is gay pirates. I'm an ally.
Whoa. Yeah, and I'm a conservative. I think that we should watch back when they made good documentaries in 2006, you know.
The production values are going to bother
Back
me
when-
anyway.
Back when George Bush was our president.
Take me back. I like the one,
Take
there's
me
like a brief, like, oh yeah, this is immediately post 9/11, where they have the flag unveiling, and they have the guy, like, doing the electric guitar version of the national anthem. And I'm like, yeah, that's 2002. That's pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Sam, ahoy, and we'll set sail for our next adventure.
Yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho. Anyway, have a good evening, Mallory.
Have a good rest of your day, Sam.